Rogers does as well.
1, 2, 3. Henry, stop counting.
Welcome on to this run Trainer! NPC Station as today's destination as my recap of round 10 of the NPC is on the way. Grab your tickets, sit back, relax, as we've got no time to waste. Toot toot! Some teams ended the regular season on dominating fashion, while other teams put together a valuable fight back, but just fell short in the end. We get started with one of the penultimate games of the season. Can North Harbour get their first win in what's been a turbulent season, or will Southend deny them once again? Let's pass it over to future me to find out. Buckle up, Trons and Tronettes, as we've got some nail biters. Game 1, North Harbour v Southend. Prediction: North Harbour still got the win, but not by as much as I would have liked. Synopsis of the game: delightful tries were scored, enormous hits were put in, and big players stepped up in the vital moments as Harbour had some disciplinary issues in the first half, which allowed Southend to take a healthy lead through some sensational set-piece work and phenomenal pick-and-go scenarios. Honestly, I was really impressed by them. North Harbour finally pulled it together though, and by half time they'd clawed their way back and by 7 points. And by then I knew we were in for a big contest. Second half saw errors and opportunities go awry as unfortunately the two teams couldn't make it stick. But then in the final minutes, North Harbour pulled something together and got through it at the death. I was also impressed by some of the breakdown work and ruck work by both teams. MVP and try of the match. MVP goes to Nathan Morcelli as he had a great performance. His matchup with Jen Melvin was mouth-watering, and the two of them provided some great moments. I was mesmerised by some of their place. My try of the game goes to Siosi Ningy Ningy as some brilliant work was done in the lead up to it and all he had to do was score. I honestly was blown away by that try. Next game we've got Auckland taking on Otago. Game 2, Auckland v Otago. Prediction. Cracked it as Otago won by plus 15. Synopsis of the game. Outright awesome tries were scored. Sensational variations of play were adapted. And crazy interplay was on show as Otago dominated this whole match. I was really impressed by their set piece and pick and go scenarios as they used those two areas to perfection. They also unleashed some unimaginable moves which caught Auckland off guard, in my opinion. Auckland did have some opportunities in this match, but due to some poor line-out issues and some mega disciplinary issues, they just couldn't convert in the first half. They did manage to come back in the second half though, but by then it was no use. Well done to Otago on the victory. Condolences, Auckland, on the loss. Sorry boys, your season is over. MVP and try of the match. MVP goes to Thomas Umanga Jensen as he had some phenomenal carries and just could not be stopped. Every time he had the ball, I was out of my seat, really taken aback by his performance. Matchup of the game is Mel Serenity and Liam Coltman, as the two Hawkers didn't give each other an inch and provided some outpouring moments. And my try of the game goes to Cam Miller. Some sensational solo work was done and he just scored a screamer. Really blown away. Next game, Bay of Plenty versus Wellington. Game 3, Wellington v Bay of Plenty. Prediction does not go to plan as I had Wellington by 58. Synopsis of the game. Superb tries were scored. Unbreakable moves were pulled off. An electric defence was done as Wellington dominated the early stages. Their outside backs were phenomenal and their set piece was brilliant. I was really impressed. But some errors later crept in and it allowed Bay of Plenty to get back into the game. And from there, it was just an abomination. From creative line breaks to just well-timed pick and go scenarios, Bay of Plenty dominated this one. And Wellington had opportunities but just couldn't connect, unfortunately, through some poor judgment and some curries up from the referee. Well done to Bayer Winnie on the win. Condolences Wellington on the loss. MVP and try of the match. Both awards go to Charlie Sinton as he had a phenomenal performance, leading Bayer Winnie's backline quite well and setting up a couple tries for his teammates. His 2 tries were perfectly executed, and yeah, he was just on a tear, really impressed. Matchup of the game goes to the 2 number 8s, Nicola Broughton and Matolu Pataya. The 2 of them didn't give each other an inch and provided some mesmerizing moments. Blown away. Next game, Waikato, Northland. Game 4, Waikato v Northland. Prediction. Just one off for this one, but Waikato still got the win. Synopsis of the game. Some excellent set-piece work was done, some feisty moments were had, and some daredeviling tries were scored, as this one was a real tussle. Northland got off to a fantastic start through some Waikato mistakes, as they used their interplay and outside back plays to perfection, but then Waikato produced some magic of their own, allowing this one to become a contest by half time. Northland could only show one bit of brilliance in the second half, as Waikato really put pressure on them in the second. Unfortunately, by the time Northland could get going again, they had no use. Well done, Waikato on the victory. Condolences, Northland on the loss. MVP and try of the match. MVP goes to Xavier Rowe as he led the Waikato backline well and had some real good moments with ball in hand. Honestly, he was menacing. My try of the game and matchup of the game awards go to Malachi Brantbank Alec, as he had a fantastic matchup with Rob Rush. The 2 of them could not be separated and provided some epic moments, while some great lead-up work was done in the lead-up to a strike. All we had to do was break through some Northland defense to score. I was quite blown away. Next game, we've got Hawke's Bay versus Manawatu. Game 5, Manawatu versus Hawke's Bay. Prediction. Really happy as I had Hawke's Bay by 16 plus. Synopsis of the game. Exceptional defensive work was done. Dynamic Riken breakdown work was established, and illustrious tries were scored as Hawke's Bay put massive pressure on Manawatu early. I was really impressed by their unmissable set-piece work and unbreakable forward interplay, as those two areas were used to perfection in my eyes. Manawatu had the fair share of position, but just couldn't execute on their opportunities. And by the time they did, it was a little too late. Hawke's Bay did some fortuitous work in the wider channels, so I was really impressed by that as well. Well done, Hawke's Bay, on the victory. Condolences, Manawatu. MVP and try of the match. MVP goes to Neria for me, as he had some incredible moments, and every time he had the ball, he just could not be stopped. Try of the game goes to Dan Sullivan, as some brilliant work was done in the lead up, and all we had to do was score, so really mesmerised by that. And matchup of the game goes to Larouk Milan and Nani Laumavi, as the two of them had a matchup and a half. Was really impressed by their kicking. It was a matchup to behold. Next game, Tasman versus Counties Manukau. Game 6, Tasman versus Counties Manukau. Prediction: had Tasman by 3, so I'm not very happy. Synopsis of the game: classical tries were scored, exceptional set plays were executed, and feisty moments were had. As Ding Dong battle was initiated, it was a case of as soon as one team scored, the other responded. It was really fun to watch. Unfortunately for Tasman, though, errors started creeping in, which allowed the counties to unleash some incredible outside back moves. And yeah, I was really impressed with their set piece and crash ball work and line breaks as well. Tasman tried to made a valuable fight back, but by full time it was no use. They just couldn't let the errors scrape past them. Well done, counties, on the victory. Condolences, Tasman, on the loss. MVP and try of the match. MVP goes to Cooper Roberts, as he had a mesmerising performance. Could not be stopped and was involved in everything. He also gets my try of the game, as his 2 tries were absolutely beautiful, and all we had to do was some fantastic solo work. Was really blown away. Matchup of the game goes to the 2 locks, Quentin Strange and William Venice. Couldn't be separated and provided some outpouring moments, was really captured by that matchup. Next game, Canterbury versus Taranaki. Game 7, Canterbury versus Taranaki. Prediction, right on the money, as I had Canterbury by 18 pass. Synopsis of the game. Explosive tries were scored. Potent work was done with ball in hand, and I've got to say some marvellous moves were pulled off as Canterbury dominated in the first half. They had some spectacular forward work, and I was really impressed with their set piece. Also, their interplay was perfect. Taranaki had some opportunities, but unfortunately they just couldn't execute them. They didn't manage to come back in the second half, but some injection via the bench was done really well by Canterbury, and they really used some of their beautiful set plays to catch Taranaki off guard. Well done to Canterbury on the win. Condolences Taranaki on the loss. MVP and try of the match. Both awards go to Zach Gallagher as he had some memorable moments and he just charged through the Taranaki defence without fail. He scored a brilliant hat-trick and had some help done by his teammates. It was really well done. Matchup of the game goes to George Bell and Bradley Slater as they had some outpouring moments and could not be separated. Honestly, it was a matchup and a half. Next game, next up, outro station. Well, drums and trumpets, that'll do it. We have reached our destination station, so please take your belongings as you disembark the train for the platform. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for you. If you did, please like, sub, comment, share, and do all that other malarkey as it really helps me out. Be cool, stay awesome, and as I always love to say, be kind to one another, will you? As a simple, how you doing or are you okay can make anyone a happy chappy. With that, I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching today. Ciao! And stay awesome wherever you are in the world, will you? Ciao!